Welcome to episode 10 of Learning Fusion. In this episode, we're going to be covering adding, connecting, and instancing nodes. So let's roll this intro and let's jump into it.
We're learning Fusion together. We'll learn 2D stuff and 3D stuff and particle stuff and compositing stuff, deep pixel stuff and tracking stuff, but not other stuff, but some other cool stuff, because we're learning Fusion together.
So within Fusion, there's a few ways to add nodes. Sometimes it's automatic. For instance, when we create a new Fusion composition, and we go into Fusion, it's automatically going to add our media out node. Additionally, if we have some footage, we go ahead and grab some footage. We'll bring it in. If we have some footage in here, and I go to our Fusion page, it's automatically going to create our media in and our media out. Also, if we have multiple clips here, and we select them and create a new Fusion clip off of them, go to our Fusion page, it's automatically going to create our merges with our media in and our media out. And it also created this background with this additional merge, which I really don't need, so I can delete it. I can just connect that media in straight to that merge. Now, additionally, as we covered the other day on our toolbar, we can just simply click a node, or we can click and drag a node in. So we have all these nodes we can bring in. Additionally, I can hit Shift Space and I can bring up this little select tool and I can select whatever node I want to bring in. So if I wanted a color corrector, I could select that and select the add button and it'll add that node. Additionally, if I hit Control Shift Space, it's going to come up with a menu, but it's going to have a lot more items than just nodes. So you see it's got all this crazy stuff. So this is pretty much bringing up anything within Fusion that we can use or view, even though it might not be a node specifically. For instance, our console. So if I want to find our console, I can add our console and our console is going to pop up. Because alternatively, to be able to see that console, we would have to go out to Workspace, Console to view our console, or I can hit Control Shift Space and it's going to have all of our additional stuff and I can add our console. But for just nodes within here, if I hit Shift Space, it's going to bring up our select tool with just nodes available within Fusion. Additionally, we went over the effects panel yesterday, and within our tools, we've got all of our tools broke down in sections. So all of our 3D stuff, all of our color stuff. So I can go to our color, find our color corrector. I can either click once, or I can click and drag it in to add a node. Additionally, if I right click and I select Add Tool, it's going to break it down by category, just like it did in our little effects panel there. So I can go to our color, find our color corrector, select it, and it's going to add it. So those are ways to add nodes. Now, sometimes it'll create nodes automatically, kind of like it did when we created this. But if I delete our merge node, let's disconnect that. If I take one of our media outs and connect it straight to a media out of another media, it's automatically going to create that merge node. So some nodes, like the merge node, will be created automatically. Now, as far as connecting nodes, every node is going to have different inputs. So if I bring in our background here, a color corrector, and our merge node, you can see all of these nodes have different inputs. And to be able to figure out what your inputs are before you memorize them, all you have to do is kind of hover over your little node. And if you hover over that actual input, you're going to get a pop-up telling you what the input is. Additionally, down here above our little Resolve Studio, it's going to tell you what that input is. So if I hover over it, you can see it says background effect mask. If I hover over our color corrector, we've got our input. We've got our match reference, our match mask, our output, and our effect mask. And then on our merge, we have got our background, our foreground, our output, and our effect mask. So like I said, our inputs and outputs are going to be different on every single node depending on what the node does. And if you want to learn specifics about nodes, if you go to our node breakdowns, I covered every single node, including the ones that have important different inputs and outputs. So I covered all these inputs and outputs on those specific node breakdowns. So if I wanted to input a node, I could just simply grab the output, just hover over the node, and it's automatically going to connect it to the most prevalent input. So for our merge, for example, we've got our background, our foreground, and our mask. So if I bring one of our media nodes and just hover over and let go, it's going to connect to the background. The next one will connect to our foreground. Let's delete these. And if I was to bring in, say, a mask node, and just hover over it and connect, it's automatically going to connect to that little mask input. And a lot of times, most of these nodes know what our input is supposed to be. So even though I have nothing connected here and I take a mask node and I just hover over it, it's automatically going to connect it to that mask node, whether we want it there or not. So if you really wanted it on your foreground or background, you'd have to grab it and physically connect it to your background, which is our other way of connecting. So we can take this, I can just highlight over that input to connect it there, grab this, input over that connector, take this, input it over that connector. So again, if I didn't want that there, I can input it on this connector. And then our out could go to our media out so we can see what's going on. Now, speaking of that, real quick, just to cover this, because I know a lot of people left comments during node breakdowns are really confused about this media out not being connected in any of my little videos. It's because this is not needed within Fusion. So I can come into Fusion and I can look at what's going on. Even if I have a split, I can go from this merge to this split. So I can see anything that's going on depending on what I have in my displays. And I don't need my media out to be able to display in here. The only purpose for this media out is for when I go to my edit page or any of my other coloring pages or delivery pages. If you notice, it's black. I'm not seeing anything. It's because Fusion isn't pushing that information out. To be able to see that information, I go to Fusion, connect my media out, go back to my edit tab. Now I can see what's going on. And that's the only purpose for this media out node, is to push that out of Fusion. So you don't need this connected within Fusion if you don't want. You can if you want, but you don't need it connected within Fusion. Just when you want to be done with your Fusion project and be able to see it within your edit page. So let's delete these. Additionally, another way to connect is if we have a merge node. Let's go ahead and bring that back in. If I hold my Alt button and go from my out of one and just let go on top of the node I'm connecting to, it's going to come up with this menu system of all the available inputs. So I can just select this background. Now I can take media 1, hold my Alt key, let go over the merge, and it's going to have a little dot over what's already connected, and my other unconnected are going to be empty. So I can select foreground, and that's with any node. Now just know some nodes aren't going to list everything. So if we look at our color corrector, we've got our little input, we've got our match reference, we've got our little match mask, we've got our out, and we've got our effect mask. But if I take this, hold my Alt key, let go, it's only got the 3 inputs. So for the ones not listed, you would have to physically connect it to. Now, additionally, I can auto connect nodes to different nodes. So if I'm selected on my merge and I select this little color, it's automatically going to connect it after my merge node. But if I'm not selected on anything and select my little color corrector, it's just randomly going to put it in our little node area. So we have to connect it ourselves. But no matter how we do it, if I'm selected on that node, even if I hit Shift Space and search for, say, the beauty node, I can add it and it's automatically going to connect after that node. As long as I'm selected on that node, it's going to automatically connect it downstream. And when I'm talking downstream, just so you know, anything that's going this way beyond the nodes is downstream. Anything above is upstream. And that's kind of what these little separators mean. So if I hold my mouse over this is the upstream side, this is the downstream side. And if I want to disconnect my nodes, I can just click once on the downstream side. Or on the upstream side, I can double click. And if we need to see whatever is upstream or downstream or automatically select it, if I select our beauty node, right click and go to select, I can select upstream. So it's going to select any upstream nodes, or I can select downstream and it's going to select any downstream nodes. Now, additionally, if I want to swap these nodes out, I can. So if I wanted to switch our beauty node here, I didn't mean to put that there. I wanted to say something else. If I right click, I can go to replace tool. I can go to my color. And if I wanted a brightness and contrast, I just select it. It's going to come up with a pop-up and ask me to verify that I want to replace it. I just hit OK. Now that's a brightness contrast node. The same goes with adding. I can right click. I can insert a tool, go to my color, and insert a new node. Now when it comes to cut, copying, and pasting nodes, we can do that as well. So if I go to our media and I add a little color corrector node, I can change our color here. Let's get 2 up. So now I changed my color. And if I want to copy that, I can just hit Control C, Control V, and I can paste it. Then I can connect my little media there. And now I've got that copied. Additionally, if I just want to paste it after something, I can select my merge and I can hit Control V and it's automatically going to paste that node afterwards. Now, just mind you, on the right click, if I go to paste, it's not going to paste afterwards. It's going to paste on that node. So if I select paste right here, it's going to ask if I want to replace it. If I didn't, I just hit cancel. If I did, I can hit OK and it's going to replace it. But if I wanted it afterwards, I can right click and paste that. I have to hit Control V on the actual keyboard to paste it afterwards. And we can cut, copy, paste multiple nodes. So we can technically take all these, Control C, Control V, and it just copied and pasted all those nodes. Now, when we're talking about downstream and upstream and where our nodes are, this does make a difference. So let's go ahead and delete these. And after a little color correct here, I'm going to add, let's add an analog damage. And let's look at that. Let's go ahead and just pick a little default preset here. So if you notice, we've got our color correct and then our analog damage. So if I took these, Control C, Control V, and I pasted them, and let's disconnect that. And I'm going to swap these around. So I'm going to move this so our analog damage is first and then our color correct. And let's bring in that same footage. Let's look at that over here. You can see it's got 2 completely different looks. So this one has our color correct and then our analog damage. This side has our analog damage and then our color correct. So you can see, unlike After Effects on the layer-based type stuff, in node-based editing and node-based effects, where your nodes are located is going to make a difference on how it looks. So now talking about copying and pasting specific nodes. So let's say we were here and we had our little color correct going on. So let's get something kind of crazy. So I could copy this, hit Control C, Control V. So now our other footage has the same exact one, but there's better ways to do this. We could delete that, copy that, and if I right click, I can select this paste instance. So when I paste the instance, you notice it's got this little green connector. If I connect that to our little line there, and speaking of, I didn't cover that yet. If you need to connect something, if I hold Shift and hold it over till that line highlights and let go, it's automatically going to connect. And if I hold shift and drag it up, it's going to disconnect. So if I just click my mouse and hold it over, it's not going to happen. I have to hold my shift key till it highlights that line. Now it's going to connect. But now we've got this green line, which means it's instanced. And I can hide that if I want. I can right click, go to my options, and right here, show instant links. If I uncheck that, it's going to hide it. Or I can right click, go to my options, and we can show that again. And I'm going to go over all these options and this additional stuff in a different episode. I'm not going to cover it today because I don't want this to get too long. So I will cover all this stuff in a later episode. But we've got this little line indicating that this node is instanced off this node. Additionally, you can see it says instance color correct. So if I go to this color correct and I need to make any changes, it's automatically going to change this one. Additionally, if I go to our instance copy and I make any changes, it's going to change both of them as well. So it doesn't matter which instance I'm on, I can make that change. And I could paste another instance so I can use this multiple times. And if I want to de-instance anything, all I have to do is right click and I select this de-instance. It's no longer instance and I can independently change those settings. So that is adding, connecting, and instancing nodes within Fusion. In the next episode, we'll get a little deeper into our right click stuff and right clicking on nodes and different options. So I will see you in the next episode.